Yeah, I caught me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now. Let's do what it says on Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective from the same department as the patrolman just now. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there. Thanks. He seems to have finally calmed down at least. Yeah, we're gonna go and check that place. I believe all the detectives don't like us and stuff like that, but perhaps our little friend Gumshoe will help us. Phew, we're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? Beats me. It took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and the traffic wasn't even that bad. You say so, but that must be a bit far away anyway, because I live... Is it 3 miles away, and that's 30 minutes for me? Like, from me to town. I mean now town like in... Wait, town. Not like just, oh, this is just, we have close market and stuff. Like, I mean a real big-ass town, store, stuff like that. It takes 30 minutes before I get there. The police department, huh? I only ever been to criminal affairs next door, huh? Hold on, what's that? Disturbing. Why does it undulate like that? Oh wait, I know. This is the blue badger. I'm trying to make it the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. Still, he seems familiar somehow. Forget the blue badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the blue badger. He knows me. I'm sure he is running over here fast. Hey, pal! What are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there? What? Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information. Hey, I have you know I'm a very busy man, pal. Sure, you are busy when you are busy, but sometimes when you say you're busy, you might not be. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Why not? Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed the crime. She summoned a detective to the prosecutor's office and, well, she killed him. But what if she's not telling the truth? Yes, well, no. Come on, pal, there's plenty of evidence against her. But what if the evidence was faked? Hey, pal, can I speak to you for a second? Me? Why is this little girl peeved at me? She's related to the suspect. She's Lana Skye's sister. Whoa, that she's prosecutor's little sister? Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voice down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's a bit sensitive issues with us these days. I believe they are talking about a lot of fake evidence here, but I believe one topic of the 3DS game was actually forged evidence. It was like, first was calm, then more forged, it was more talk about it, just forged evidence all the time, fake everywhere. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh well, nothing really. You kicked me out of criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time? Ah, what do you mean about this time? Then, what happened? I know things are busy right now, I mean, with my sister's case and all. It's true, we've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranking people will be... The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. Not even letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. None of you? Well, this is important to trial, but isn't that a little odd? So anyway, I thought I'd spend a day getting the badger dance down pat. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. And the marshal was assigned to the underground parking lot. Officer Marshall. Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that marshal guy. A patrolman in charge of the crime scene is unheard of, pal. Okay, thank you. So... Found Mr. Edwards' car, stabbed with Mr. Edwards' knife, huh? What could drive Chief Prosecutor Skye to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean... I mean, sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone who must have... someone who must have gotten a grudge against Mr. Edwards. The car and the knife seemed a little too well organized to be coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, what could have happened? We have to find out more a little more what's going on here before we do. So I checked that and that. About this hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edward got yesterday. Where you getting? Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal! I got an award for diligence myself. Congratulations. I was wondering why this... why is the award... I was wondering why is the award shield and why is it broken? Ah, there's a reason. I'll tell you why it is later. Apparently forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edward winning that award. Even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers must be because of the rumors. Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this? Huh? Hey pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it in to the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Me and Detective Gumshoe must drop his car a lot. Let's see, Bruce Godman. Godman? Sounds familiar. Nah, my mistake, L. It's the one that died, okay? Whoa! Now I remember. Bruce Godman, he's the victim. That's what I thought. Can you tell us more about Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, please tell us more about Godman. Bruce Godman. So, this ID card belonged to the victim. He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Godman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be laying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. It was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal? Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Gumshoe... Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but... word is that Chief Prosecutor Skye called him out there to the parking lot. Lana's confessing as much. He's in tough spot again. Tough spot again. Again. Well, it all started with the murder that defense attorney Hammond. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there have been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispering of rumors. Ever since he was accused of murdering, no one's whispering, they're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edwards has always had an unusual strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's so natural that people would be suspicious. I had no idea he was under that gun. Anyway, this later case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself. What? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edward is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this all for us. Okay, thank you. I was wondering about that. What? Dancing Blue Badger is my masterpiece. Wait, did you make this? Wait, you made this, Detective Gumshoe? The chief drew together some designs and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered, so you can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the batteries die, so goodness sake. Wow, poor Badger. Fate to dance until it drops. Yes, that's about it. Flipping heck. That's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who is. What is his name? The guy in the parking lot? Ah, that would be Officer Marshall. Was opinion directly by the chief of police. Officer Marshall. Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? No, Jake Marshall, just a regular officer. From West LA. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this, and I'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. Nice. I'll be surprised if this guy gets this. Just act like you're supposed to be there. No one will look at you twice, pal. Thanks. Well, we will go directly. Blue Badger. For first of all, yes, I understand he's supposed to more or less look like a weird badger on the head, but yeah. Yo, Marshall. Looks like the investigation's still going. I have been getting back then to the shop. Sorry, I look like we're stuck in this pit into some steps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Oh, okay. Sorry. When they do question marks, I can't do, so I just have to guess. Oh, still here? Hello? Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I got a boyfriend in criminal affairs too. For first of all, it's nothing you go out and say to people randomly. If you did, yeah, yes. Oh my god, we have a queen of some sort here. What happened to the security guard? What's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost his herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy putting in charge of a crime scene. Yeah, a bit. Especially with the chin just poking out like I don't know what. Yo, dude, we have this shit. Well, criminal affairs. Do you mean this guy? Is this your second boyfriend? How is your first boyfriend looking like? Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you. Foul letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe. Ah, that old cowdog. He's holding a birthday party or something. Huh? Look, where it should say letter of introductions, it says invitation. Ah, I think you just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all the defensive here? No worry, this proves it's from Detective Gumshoe better than a blood test. Guess it just better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. That's right, he's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a second. Isn't the crime scene supposed to be handled by detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settlers, strike out, lands or no. Manifest destiny, let's have a hootenanny. Note to self, police investigation all like setting land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. I just imagine him take this and just... Okay, can we talk to you about something? The victim. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good man always dies young. Remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy then now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here, 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me that tale. I think she means the witness, Miss Angel Star. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. This is your autopsy report. Hour and a half. Why is it like that? Why does it say like that? It doesn't say he died that time. Because died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Does that mean before or after? Because I don't need to write stuff like this down, but I'm just gonna do it for fun. So they say he was stabbed at 5:15. So 4 p.m. Then it is 2:30. Yeah, 2:30 and 5:30. Because it says died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Oh, wait a second. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. which means 5:15, which means that from 4 p.m. the guy could have died within that time. He doesn't need to have to die 15. Why does it say like that? Why not 15? Like, I understand that it might be a good clue for me, but still. Was my sister involved with the crime in any way? Funny you should mention it, Bad Bambina. The chief prosecutor Skye and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. What the shit? Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back, so there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to the parking lot. So it seems, like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective. They call me out. They shoot you for that in Texas. I was one of the fancy shoe detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Really? He tells me? No, he tells me? But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of the crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now, keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's us though. I think the gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important at least. He's nothing, sad old cowdog. And can find his own tail. Maybe it's because it's wrong with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth. That cowdog seemed kicked out for this cattle round by order of the chief of police. Yes, it doesn't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? Oh, sorry, but my nose is itching like shit. What am I doing? Right, slide over here. First of all, we have a camera. Scientifically analyzed would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Check it out, it's a camera, it has something. Right, let's check it out. Do you need to be so slow? No, wait. Oh, it's a phone, it's not a camera. Man, what a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know. Here, check out mine. It's a pink prison strap. These are hard to come by, you know. I see the series is popular as ever with the kids. Wasn't it just last year it came out? Button. still on the redial screen. Redial. Mr. Bright, most phones keep record of all calls you made and received. You just press the blue button display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I was surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. I'm sorry. It's just you never know what people from your generation. Whatever. I do love that, but at the same time, she's not as much younger as I am. Because if I don't remember incorrectly, I am about 25, 24, and she's 16. Like I believe this. Like if we would see now, because I'm the same age now. I'm 25 now. So for me, we will be more or less the same generation, because my generation started with NES and stuff like that. So I understand shit like redial. Like, look at me, I'm bloody streaming on internet. I know bloody stuff. Even coding some stuff as well. Not good at coding. That's why. Oh, speaking of that, I just checked the website for the study I'm going to do. I'm going to study now for 3 years, I believe, as a game maker. I'm gonna study how to make games, and I did not choose to deal with coding, so I did graphic and stuff, but I am actually approved to all of them. Not that I can come in, not that I am, yes, you can be one of those that studies here. It's, as I said, it's more or less like a competition about that, but I'm actually, I can be one of those, because I'm not too low in grade, if we say so. Which is nice. It's just 2 that they still haven't checked through yet, but everyone else, clean off the shot. It's just for me to choose if they have more to choose for me, if we say so. I think I said it right. Now, to see the owner of this phone call. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes a button. It's my phone! Hey, that's strong. I know that. Is it my phone or is it someone else's phone? What's going on over there? Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed the redial on the phone, on their phone, did you not? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It wasn't the ground over there. Who's this? That belongs to Chief Prosecutor Skye. What? It's my sister's? She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone, except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now, I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone just ring now. One of those newfangled ringtones? Oh, that. Oh. I'm sorry, that was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone, a wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Jeez. Uh-oh, I've incented the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Last call was made at 5:18 on the day of the murder. After 15 to me. This rope, is it? Yep, laid in the outline of the victim's body. They did a bloody great job. We thought of it actually laying outside of the cuff. What is it called now in English? The trunk, that's it, bloody hell. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You've got to be the only one person I know that would come to that conclusion. This appears to be the car where the body was found. It looked like the lock on the trunk was busted. The crime took place in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Oh my nose! Wow, quite a luxury car. I just screamed, I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. Do they actually? What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. Look, something's written on it. Good man. 67. Right, let's see. 67S 12 the second. Oh, there's a name printed on the paper above that. Good man. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so what does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self. Detective reasoning go to Edgeworth, not right. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Okay. Are we done here? B block is through here. That's where visitors park. I can see the lunch lady's car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. Right. I like a cute sign on the door. I can see a cartoon cow munching down a juicy looking steak. Does that strike a little creepy? Just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. You'll be fine, my dear. Okay. I don't know why it said it's so creepy, it's just it did that. A block, this is the area reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are relegated to B block. I dream of one day when I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Are we done here? The guy is not here, so apparently we're done. Oh, no, wait, he's here. Whoa! Dude, the money! Okay, I'm just going to skip this non-conclusive stuff. My sister's cell phone. The last time I was used was 5:18, right after Gutman was killed. Maybe she was cancelling a date for the night. When did Lana make that call? Lana Skye. So, there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister. That's correct, but there's a goldmine of evidence against her. And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between the cop and her sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. Something might have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind that blows through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will. Something's up to something here, but who? Suspicions about Mrs. Edward have been flying around in nearly for 2 years now. Court's evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? It was unbeatable because it did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable that is, until I met you. But the rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything for them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're off limits, untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? I hate to say this to you, but it's your sister Bambina, the chief prosecutor Lana Skye. What, my sister? Edward wouldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. What? You're saying Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there were gunshots, there were bound to be bullets. That's what the old timers say. There's a big old secret of evidence around here somewhere. Everyone knows of it. That's why Detective Gumshoe was taking up the case. Did they target him because he was close to Edgeworth? I have no clue. So, well, how are we doing, Miss Wright? I guess we got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim and a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lan is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem! I can guarantee that she's not a criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma. Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? It's a Steel Summer theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids. The phone you just rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place. Your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what she was talking about? She hung up right away. I see. Oh, so not mine. It was just the same. Okay. The detective is murdered, and the suspect is on the top prosecutor in the district. I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, who doesn't? Like, maybe I still doesn't know everything that's going on here. Let's continue. How did the investigation go, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of grey areas. Or rather, the whole thing is a one big grey area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. Oh, my nose! Why is it so itchy? I think I need to clean in here or something. Ooh. Okay. I believe in you, sis. Or it might be just because I have that open. I don't know. Oh, I just done scratching for days now. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? The defense attorney should never believe their clients. Do you mean believe when you say you did it, or when you say you're innocent? The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her, and that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for a trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be there with you the whole way. Sorry, I just blacked out there for a moment. Sorry. Bloody hell, I don't know what happened. I was just... What the heck happened? Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since this trial. Brazilian. I hope personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with life. There was a witness to the crime. A professional witness. Professional witness? Do you mean she has done that before? Very well. Call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution called its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The Catholic Queen. Why the Catholic Queen? Please give me some clearance about what the shit you're talking about. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I never eaten caviar before. Just is really wolfing down. And for you, I have a fiesta bar. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir? You ordered a fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raps about caviar. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled topica. What the heck does pickled topica taste like? I don't know. Name and profession, now. Me, the name is Angel Starr. Don't forget it. I find myself running a lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted? Wanted me to say, Miss Edgeworth? Very well. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecutor will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years, Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. Whoa. Okay. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Ah, I know who you are. Catholic Queen, Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. Yeah, music! The parking lot and prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. Block A for the prosecutor's office personnel. And Block B is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's space, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Oh, why, it was me, Your Honor. Shit. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, apprehended the chief prosecutor. Very well. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't agree on your principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. I shall proceed to crush what little hope they have to remaining. If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Thank you for your consent? Wait, are you talking about me? Yes, he is. She is, and he is talking to her. Bloody hell. Ugh. Somehow I always knew this day wouldn't. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. Also my way to deliver lunchbox to my boyfriend. when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honored detective intuition at work. Through the fair wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointed tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. So I'm just going to... Today was a bit of a slow day for me as well. Like, I don't know why, but I'm a little... if we say so. Okay. Bring a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. Depends on how many. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife that you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It is merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine our witness here. I just noticed her necklace is like a hot dog octopus or something. I believe we do those here in Sweden. Not an octopus, but when we actually fry sausage, we sometimes like cut them in half and cut them like that. But in both ends, so that's why it doesn't become a squid. Okay, why would you know this day would come, Mr. How do you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted method will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady in uninformed opinion is duly noted, given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I feel that I have found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be laid off. She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is... Sorry, I forgot which one was which here because I've forgotten to write names on them when they are on. So I took sound from both of them instead. I know now the top one is... I just need to do that. Oh, sorry. That said, I'm a pro. Yeah. Very well, you may continue, Mr. I was on the way out. Which boyfriend, though? This boyfriend, he's the detective. Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several. Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? What the... Yes? No? Why? There yet another boyfriend position still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge has to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in block A. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. There with a room with a security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchbox by car? Since I'm a visitor, you know I parked in block B. So she was in block B when she witnessed the crime. Yeah, because you said that. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my reading that. I'm not gonna read those. You sensed something. So you're saying you had a premonition of a murder? It felt like... How could you say... Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means, really. Speaking of the detective intuition, wasn't Isn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard, yellow, and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with an odor of an old cheese to match. Yeah, strike point there, Emma. In any case, there is a lot I feel something stirring in the back of my mind. Yeah, through the wire fence. Yeah, that's bring up a good point. By a garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes. Miss Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. She's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can, even if we don't have any proof. We can do it nitpick. Witness, in your testimony clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo, you are a based witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in further, rookie. Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk consequence of doubting me. Fry her like a fritter, crisper the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are unerring. Photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed them crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a crime, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchbox is written with the camera. That is bad. I suppose that's one more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Goodness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I show it to you, prosecutor? Think again. Yeah, it seems that you don't really have the stuff on her right now. My boyfriend works in the photograph division of the criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Yes, it is, but I do not see the guy anywhere. Uh-oh, this is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding the knife in her right hand. Okay, I might be completely wrong, but if we look at this, you don't have anything. Yeah. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with a knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? And why is Skye not holding a knife? Miss Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection? That has to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet, it's still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. Objection! And how can you tell that? Blood spatter. See the dark Christmas stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's black and white photograph. Ah, yes! It's hard to tell, but it could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Injection. I'm just gonna do it. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in the testimony. Namely that he took the picture the moment that she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems it was slightly unclear. I apologize. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. The prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated murder? How do you mean? Look at the chief prosecutor's hand in these photographs. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would you have those? It was not premeditated. She would not be wearing those gloves. Yeah, but at the same time, she said she cut herself. Those gloves seem to tell the tale of a premeditation. Premeditation, yep. It's apparently what it says. Premeditated murder is a serious offense. Witness, and this is your testimony. Yeah, the witness was planned. I'm gonna press this first. What if it was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like diving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the fella was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned, was premeditated crime. Impressive! I'm sorry, they took you off the force, Mrs. Starr. This is bad. She got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial is already over. I got to think a way to show this wasn't premeditated. What we do is just... This is the guilty. Just keep our heads cool and press the witness, shall we? For more reason, having her panic next time makes me calm. This may be Victor's blood, right? Either that or Edward cut himself being an apple. What's Edward doing with a knife like this anyway? Hey, maybe he spends his weekend rolling in the wilds. Edgewood in the wild. I think my fruit peel theory is more likely. Are you kidding? Always picture him as an outdoorsman. Well, there's a scary thought. Yeah, a bit. Okay, I'm gonna check some stuff. So first of all... Okay. Hey, check it out. There's a metal plate here. Look at the name of the previous recipients on it. Wow, one guy's listed a bunch of times. One karma. I guess it must be a foreigner. Oh, yeah, that's probably it. Well, whatever he's from, he must be an amazing prosecutor. No. I like to meet this one, Mr. Von Karma sometimes. When she says it, his name doesn't have kind of a ring to it. Okay, that's it. That's it. So it's just broken, that's it. That's all of it. I wish to check everything here just because I can now. Feels like I'm missing something useful. Miles Edgeworth, 1712. This dated name, crime. The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only it was held up at a couple extra red lights, he would not have been caught up in this whole affair. Perhaps. This just shows that you never know what will happen when you run the yellow light. Oh, wait a second. Yeah. Premeditated. It is. No. I thought I had it there. It still doesn't bring their theory to a bitter end, so I need to find that first. Checklist. Okay, cause of death, lot of bloodshed. Assessment will not cause by force, knife, single blast, single stab was found. But it says between, so it can be whenever, but I don't have enough time yet to check that. 6, 7, yes, 12, 12, 12. Is it backwards? No, because if it is backwards, then it says... No, wait, it can't be. 21st. No, it's not backwards, it's stupid of me, because that is 2, that is 5. Sorry, my bad. Check this thing. Nothing really here. We know about the Gucci. There has to be something that... I talked about this before. Yeah, it was. Yeah, this is a bit of a pickle. Okay, because I have already pressed her. Nothing more comes from this, and from the next last one. There, I managed to get that it was planned. It has to be something. Present. No, it can't be. Objection! No, because it is his knife. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it's my knife. Yes. What was this case? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness prove an accurate testimony. What's that, Rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. It seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh, the knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. I think she dropped her lunches. Order!
Order!
Great, now the title. Great! Show me is right. My sister is as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you will be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Ah, the prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seemed to care is the lunch lady over there. True. The defendant Lana Skye murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need to prove, nothing else. Very good, prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Miss Starr, he died of one single stab. I think you have something against people here, we already know that.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. Yes, it was. It does sound a lot like premeditation, does it not?
So if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Yeah, for first of all, we're going to take the most obvious shit in all of this. This was simple. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Ah, you're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What the hell? My hero, really? What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, witness.
We got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw. You thought was blood. Testify.
Wait a second. You mean her scarf? Yeah, he has a scarf. She has a scarf there. Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose.
Wow!
bizarre that you mistook that splatter for blood.
Well, people often mistaken my beard for a bib.
A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten tonight. What shit is a bib? What's a bib? Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There's only one knife. Apparently Miss Star isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. It's our chance. I know exactly. It's easy. Oh, sorry. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Not really. You just do this. I'm gonna present her own shit. Yeah, it disappears, and the music disappears as well.
Objection!
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. They stopped me again, that bastard! What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim, and you proved it yourself with this photograph. But that's... that can be! Only a professional lunch lady could be utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Shot liver? But it was there. The scarf. A scarf, no. Not that, but something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entire entertaining interlude, but back to business. What?
Very well, witness. Continue with your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehend the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember something accurate, at least. Ultimately, she wouldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where his sister stabs the victim. This is the next testimony, might just be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition of her side. I quickly caught her explaining her rights to her and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made it to escape, but again, against the Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
It strikes like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No, thank you. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. Who isn't? The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Rawr.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. I will strike my luscious little beard.
Okay. I believe I know what she's talking about. She's talking about that little stuff where the phone is. So where is this portion on the plan? Yeah, there. Oh boy. There was a wall there about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. A quite natural thing for a criminal to do. And what do you do then? Okay, we're going to press all, but the thing with the oil drum is on the other side. You say you quickly were you close to. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from the whole time. Maybe I should press her on for details. Press. Because if we just take a look at this, because I want to fix the details. She was here, if I don't remember right, and saw her hide. She was not hiding, she was standing there, because I can't see a way for her to actually get that way. If he wasn't climbing the fence, but okay, press her. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The lunch lady's car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. She witnessed the murder from here.
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Mrs. Starr? Yes, that's right. There was a chain link...
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing, the Call of Queen lunch lady athlete indeed.
Would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. She wouldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, the fence was about 9 feet high too. So how did Miss Skye not get away? She mentioned a muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember correctly, I would have told you in my testimony. A bit cheeky, actually. Anyway, all I heard was to say the word muffler.
Just the one word?
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking to her on her phone. Her phone. She can't mean... Ask further. By phone, do you mean this phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see me, Star.
The chief prosecutor was first attempt to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. I'm just going to move myself further down, just so my feet touches the ground a bit. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used herself.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I had to please the rookie defense attorney. Not a cell phone update in the court record. You think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Ah, I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this once, to listen closer, Ricky. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of the pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the fence.
At that time, you climbed over the fence, over the chain link fence.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? Yeah, the music stopped. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, would you have thought you would be my knight in shining armor prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me. I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point, or if that is true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone call was on the back side of this partition. If you indeed were in B block, you couldn't have seen it.
Order! What is the meaning of this?
It is simple, Your Honor. He's not coughing up lunch, he's coughing up lies. That is quite a claim. Perhaps you are willing to allow me a question. But exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's the court that the attack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about what she saw. She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Skye using that emergency phone.
It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical.
What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox? Mr. Wright, I hated to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would you, Miss Star, lie like that? Why would you say that my sister had tried to use the phone but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something insignificant? Then she's right. I mean, she really did see her try to use the emergency phone. I see no room of doubt here. You ordered the Tony on rice, right? Oh, flipping egg. Shit. Yeah, then I know. It is where she stood. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone. It was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Mrs. Starr to lie about it.
Pointless to lie, I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. Now, that pointless lie, if ever I heard it. If you recall my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to you, clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimonies we heard until now points in one direction. The security room.
Take that!
This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room.
Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot, is well positioned. It is built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot.
So, we would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in A block. The only place she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is there. I remind you in the testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr, how many years has has I been getting the better of them? You think that the tables could have been turned? Today a man got the better of
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make justice prevail. Guilty. Is she talking about Miss Skye? Miss Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense, huh? She couldn't have just said this. She saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. Yeah, the photograph is from the front side. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to begin lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Me?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Hi, by the way. I can see you there. Do you hope you enjoyed this little stream I have with flipping egg? Did I forget to change what I was streaming again? I always forget this. That's probably why. Sorry, I apparently have totally forgotten to change this. But yes, I am playing Ace Attorney. Goodness sake, I just thought of this now after my stream almost about to end. I will have a half an hour left, so yeah, stick around if you want. But she lied, she said she saw it from B block. Let's go back. The angle. Why? The angle which she saw the crime occur would change.
The angle? What do you mean?
Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and she would have sort of more 3D view of the crime.
This is important. Why?
Bloody hell, but it was from a different angle. Because the photograph comes from the other side. Yes, I know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from there, but she lied, she said, from the B block. Distance of the crime. It changed the distance of the crime between her and the scene of the crime. The distance between her and the crime. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. But my condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what you could see. What she saw is not the question here. What matters is time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye?
Well, witness.
Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of the lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't even in the station, so I waited. I witnessed this crime from the glass wall station. Yes, from there, around. And before I knew it, I find myself running towards the scene of the crime. But the door was locked, so I couldn't open it. Wow, it's even taken even further around. But just because you are here, I want to do one thing, and that is how have your day been, or how will your day be, do you think? And if you want to check it, do write it in my little chat over there. I will check it. And else, I do want you to else if so, do use my loots link down below. It's just a big white screen where it says loots. For no money at all, you can write your answer. You can write more or less anything. Just send it to me here and it will actually show up on screen where actually everyone can see it. And to be honest, it doesn't cost you anything, it doesn't cost me anything, but you actually is helping this channel to grow a bit when you do. Just wanted to piece that out, if we say so. That is why I think had to go through the visitors park. It's quite a distance. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes?
That's even worse than before when you needed to climb over the fence.
This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point. And the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, we have to do something. Do you have any evidence to stop this? Objection, just because. 5 minutes between the witness of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You couldn't make pasta in that amount of time. Yeah, more or less, actually. If you like it al dente. I got lunchboxes that the tie passed into nuts, rookie. A 5-minute blank, isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
I guess would flee the scene.
Oh, sorry, I managed to click there. Oh, that was not me. That was not me. But you have the instincts of a killer. Would you run? But this time was different. Miss Skye dwelled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconveniable. Yeah, she has some sort of grudge here because she is just spitting shit out.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Miss Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go.
Unfortunately, it appears to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. Oh, my nose.
I'm afraid that the caught-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Okay, so one day. Who is? You're not the one to hold it. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist them off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? Sorry, I need to scratch my nose. Oh, wow. I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is it another one of those her trick lunchboxes? Sorry, but my nose is so itching right now. I don't know when I will sneeze.
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Mrs. Starr.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Ooh, a triple-decker!
Bloody hell.
Out of deferences to the witness determination, I allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Let the lunchland motor assess. You won't be disappointed. I'm just going to pull out of her lunchbox this time. I have no clue. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type match the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless decisive evidence. Why the shit did you have her shoe for?
What? There was blood found on the shoe.
You just try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? It's simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with your evidence, Miss Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed. Did I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. Flipping heck, you are a diva as something? In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know there are two rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensic department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, yeah, she got it. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfied the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Witness shoe added to the court.
Very well, Mr. Wright, you can cross-examine the witness.
Okay. Yeah, but that's the thing. Oh shit. I misjudged. You know what, my nose is so bloody rinny and I'm about to die here. So I'm gonna save and end the stream early today. Just 15 minutes early. Just for today. It doesn't happen that often. If I do earlier, I do perhaps a minute or so, just because I'm either finished with something or it's just going to take longer for something else. Oh, just gonna stretch. But I do hope you like this either here on Twitch or out there on YouTube. Jesus, what was so hard with that? I'm gonna continue this. I have noticed that my stream is very slow. I believe I know who is watching. Mostly because it doesn't just write anything in the chat. I believe I know who it is. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here, and I hope you have enjoyed this little video, and I'll just say good day or good night. See you next time. Bye.